Good
afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the pre-match press conference ahead of our season opener against Nashville SC. We have head coach Nick Cushing. If you'd like to ask a question, please raise your hand. We'll get started with Scott Churchson.
Hey, Coach. Thanks for the time. Grateful to be the first one out this time around. Talk a little bit about Hani Mukhtar going up against the new defense that you've got and honestly being right into the fire with this against the Golden Boot winner. Thanks.
Going to be incredibly difficult. He was fully deserved of the MVP. He was really good player last year. Really difficult when we played them in 2021. I think they were in our conference, and he scored against us. He's a really good football player, and if we give him space and time, and we allow him to dictate the game with his technique and the vision that he has, he will cause us huge problems. But with our midfield and our back four and the way that we've worked, we're confident going into the game.
Trey Fillmore.
Hey, Coach, just wondering if there's any injuries, updates, or things we should know before the match gets started this weekend.
No, as the squad's fully healthy. It's been a really positive pre-season. We picked up a few little knocks at the beginning of pre-season, but touch wood, everyone's healthy. The training sessions today was really positive, and we got one more day's prep tomorrow.
Chris Campbell.
Hey, Coach, just wondering if you made a decision at all on the starting goalkeeper for Saturday.
I think for us, it's about making sure that we're prepared going into the game, and we've rolled both of them through the pre-season. We've got one more training day. I think for me, I'm fully behind my goalkeeping coach, Rob Vartugian, and however he feels fit to pick the goalkeeper. Of course, I pick the team, but I respect his opinion. And if we go with Luis, we'll be fully behind him. But like I said earlier in the press conferences, I think it's going to be a straight shootout between Matt Fries and Luis Barraza for the first part of the season.
Christian Hennig.
Hi, Coach. The season's almost here. The phrase "kid at Christmas" springs to mind. Just how excited are you to get going with the new campaign?
Yeah, I'm really excited. I think it's been a really positive pre-season. I think getting the group together, adding individuals along the way. We know that we're going to add further, but the likes of, Brian Kufre, Mitja Ilinic, Tony Alfaro, Matt Fries, it's been a really positive. They've been really positive additions to the squad, whilst pushing the likes of Keaton Parks and Mateus Pellegrini and those guys that, Thiago Andrade, those guys that probably want to play more minutes and want to, stake a claim to be in the majority of the games this season. It's been really positive. So I'm really excited to get going, and the atmosphere and the feel of the group out there today on the training pitch was really good.
Ryan Gerbosi.
Hi, Nick. You just touched on this a bit, but I'm wondering if you can just address this preseason as a whole. Was there anything specific that you were looking for out of this group, given the roster turnover? And did you or did you not get what you were looking for out of them?
I think obviously there's many elements to a preseason when we're planning it. Initially, there was a huge physical focus to make sure that we're prepared for an MLS season that is going to be just as difficult as it's ever been. A lot of games. A lot of travel, incredibly competitive games, and I was pleased with that. I think there was a tactical focus because, when you're made the full-time head coach, you get a preseason and an opportunity to give the team the direction that you feel you want the team to go in, and I was pleased with that. We had some really good performances, LAFC, LA Galaxy. Even the last game against Portland, we lost the game 1-0, but we carried the majority of the ball. We created chances that I feel we should have scored, and we had some really good individual performances. And then just the togetherness piece to make sure that you're prepared for, a home opener that is going to be hugely difficult, really big crowd, really good team. And I was really enthused by the end of the preseason, and especially by this week, in looking at the team's, preparation and whether they are prepared for the game.
Michael Andre.
Nick, I apologize if this has been asked. I missed the first question. A lot has been said about the number of games that teams are going to be playing this season, given Leagues Cup and then the U.S. Open Cup on top of the regular season. and also the fact that the playoff format has changed, do you feel yourself relying on more depth from your squad and maybe giving maybe not in the first week, but at least during the course of the season, giving more of the younger players more opportunity to get minutes?
Yeah, I think if you reflect on last year, we played a lot of football games last year. I actually think we played the most games we've ever played as a team, and we had too many injuries. So for us, the utilization of our squad and using those guys that probably haven't played a lot of minutes and using our MLS2 team, we've carried a lot of MLS2 players and academy players in our preseason. So they've been able to get the work in, and they know and understand the expectation that we have on our team. We'll have to use all of our squad for all of our games, whether it be an Open Cup game, a Leagues Cup game. We have to make sure that we're prepared to go into the playoffs, the new playoff format, fresh or with the best freshness that we can have, because the Philadelphia game, the conference final, we can't be going into conference finals without Maxime Chanot, those type of guys, Thales Magno. We need to have our players fresh and the strongest team possible to go to difficult places.
Ronnie?
Hey, Coach. Hope you're doing well. Just wanted to ask you, I know you just mentioned him, but Brian Coufret, just wanted to ask you a little bit about what your first impressions are from him in his short time with you in preseason, and just what are some possible key traits about him that kind of made you bring him aboard from Mallorca and La Liga experience?
Firstly, it really impressed me. His mentality is top level. I mean, when you bring a guy from La Liga, you expect that. But his desire and his hunger to train at a real high intensity, his hunger to perform well and to win, I've seen in 4 days. He's really impressed me with that. He's really technical, he can defend, but his offensive play, his crossing and his ability to get up into the offensive half of the field and support attacks and give us width is really, really impressed me. So I think firstly, he will definitely add and increase the mentality of the team, but I think his technical ability is really high level.
Anyone else? Great. Thanks, everyone. All right. Welcome, everyone, to the pre-match press conference ahead of our match against Nashville SC. We have defender Maxime Chanot. If you'd like to ask a question, please raise your hand. We'll get started with Scott Churchson.
Hey, Maxime, thanks for the time, as always. Just a general question here. How you feeling about the season? How excited are you for the season? And just give us general penny for your thoughts. Thanks.
Hi, everybody. Very exciting, obviously, for the beginning of season. We've been working very hard for almost 6 weeks. Obviously, everybody's looking forward to start the game. As I said, we well prepare. We know it's going to be a tough game, obviously, because Nashville is not an easy team to play against, especially away front of a full stadium. But we're ready. I think, as I mentioned again, we work hard. We work hard all together. So yeah, we can't wait to start the league now.
Michael Andrew.
Maxime, thanks for the time. Can you just talk about the new defender that joined the team, Brian? I know Coach just had some high praise for him. I'm just curious, how it's been playing next to him.
Yeah, we had the chance to have Brian since last week, I believe. He's been very welcome in the club. We are very happy to have him, obviously, with us. And he's a very good player. Obviously, you can see his backup, like his background. When you're from La Liga, you obviously are a good player. I think he's going to be very useful for us. We need depth in his team, and obviously we need quality. So we're always happy to have this kind of player in our team. So yeah, we're just looking forward to see him play against Nashville, and obviously he's going to be successful this season for us.
Juan Carlos.
Hi, Maxime. Thank you for the time. Just a quick question. As a captain, this is the first game of the season. You trained everything and, you've gone over everything with your teammates. Do you think that, given that it is the first game of the season, any complications come in that you can't really control? Thanks.
Can you repeat, sorry, question? I was a little bit, you broke up. Can you repeat, please?
Can you hear me?
Yes,
now
go
we hear
again,
you,
Juan Carlos. Sorry about that.
Okay, sorry about that. Yeah, given that it's the first game of the season, do you see anything that you can control, like as a player? Like I know you've gone over, training and everything is set up. Do you think that there's anything that you like can control, given that there's like the first game of the season?
Can or can't?
Can't.
Anything we can control, obviously, how football works, you can't control. I mean, we work hard, as I said, we have a game plan, and I believe this game plan will be successful. So what can't I control anything? I don't know, I don't really understand your question. Sorry about that. But to be honest, as I said, we work hard, we are ready for that game. And now God will choose if we're going to win that game or not, but we're going to work as much as we can. And, we're going to give our best Saturday just to make sure we win that game.
Ryan Gerbosi.
Hi, Maxime. Just wondering how different this preseason was without some of the names that have been in this team for the last few years, like Sean, like Alex. Do you feel like you've kind of taken a larger leadership role and had to take on that role with some of these guys that have left? And just how was the preseason overall?
Yeah, the preseason has been very well. To be honest, I was a little bit surprised because, as you say, we lost several key players who've been very successful in this club with a strong legacy, and we didn't know how the young player will adapt to that. But they did very well. I don't think I changed my role. I've always been the same since day one. Whatever, when David was here, Andrea, Frank Lampard, or Sean Johnson, whatever. Always been the same. Always try to be a leader and try to to guide the young guy and the rest of my teammates. Obviously we had like oldest player like me, we'll say Thiago Martins, Keaton Park, Alfredo Morales, even Luis Balazza, who's been very crucial in the way where they try to lead the other player like I do. So no, nothing much to say, to be honest. I might maybe let you down, but we work hard, we work well. Everybody is behind Nick. Everybody is very, very happy to be in this club, and everybody obviously is looking forward to start finally after 6 weeks the MLS first game of the season.
Chris Campbell.
Hey, Maxime, just curious, Alex was the left center back for so long. Just curious during the preseason and in training if it's been you or Thiago Martins that's been more on the left side than the right side.
I mean, you have to ask the coach. I can play on the both position. Thiago Martins can do too. Tony Alfaro can play there. Alfredo Morales also, I think, played a few games last season as a center back on the left and on the right. So. The coach Nick will make a choice right now. As you said, we can play, and I can play on both positions, so I will play where Nick wants me to play.
And final one, Ronnie.
Hey, Maxime, hope you're doing well. Just had a quick question on just kind of just your first impressions on the new goalie, Matt Freese. I know the back line and the goalkeeper need to have a good relationship, good communication. Just kind of what you've seen from him and any initial first communications with him.
Yeah, same as with Brian. We're very happy to welcome Matt in the club. We know him from Philadelphia. He's a very quality player. It's very important to have like a bunch of good goalkeepers at the club, and that's what we have with himself, with Luis, with Cody, with Rondo also. We are very lucky to have such a very good goalkeeper in this club. And Matt has done very well during this preseason. As I said, he's a little bit mad against me because this is I shot. He played against us 2 years ago when we won the cup against Philadelphia. He was in the goal, and the first goal came from my shot. So he's a little bit angry against me, but otherwise, no, everything is great with him, and I'm very happy to have him at the club.
Thank you, everyone. All right, good afternoon, everyone. Last but not least, we have defender Tayvon Gray ahead of the match against Nashville SC. If you'd like to ask a question, please raise your hand. Ryan?
Hey, Tayvon, thanks for joining us. Just wondering if you could give us an overall view of what this preseason was like with a lot of new faces around. Did it feel a little different?
Yeah, for sure. It still definitely felt different, seeing new faces.
Was there anything that you guys were looking for out of this preseason that you were able to achieve?
I think just preparation for the season. I think we're prepared, fit, everyone's healthy, so for sure.
Thanks.
Scott Cherson?
Hey, Tayvon, to expand on that a little bit, if you don't mind, your role now is actually kind of almost turned into a little veteran leadership. How are you adapting to that? How are you feeling about that? And give me some thoughts. Thanks.
As for the leadership, I think the young guys really catch on really quick. Coming from the academy, so like I know how it is, like that transition. It could be like I want to say tough, but like you kind of just slide with it, especially because like the academy does the same exact stuff that we do. So I think they've been doing pretty well. And as for me leading them, and like I think I'm doing a pretty good job at that. I think my game really shows that. I like to encourage them on the pitch. Don't be scared, be yourself, show your personality. So yeah.
Michael, Andrea?
Tayvon, thanks for the time. We've seen in a lot of the preseason games the formation 4-3-3. Just curious if there's been times when the team has practiced as a three-man back line, maybe in a 3-4-3. And if so, has that been a position where you've played more on the wing as a wing back or in a center back position? Thank you.
I think that all depends on Nick. We've done both, so yeah.
Trey?
So back to follow up. Have you played as a center back in that three-man back line, or as a?
Yeah. Like as in. It's kind of so both, as in we can play a 4-back, but you can still go to 3 in the back. So meaning the left fullback can go high and I can go center back, even though I'm playing right back, if that makes sense. So that's why I said both. And it can also be because we're in 5 in the back. Do you understand? Or
I do. Thanks for the clarification.
Trey?
Hey, Tayvon. In your interview after you signed your extension, you mentioned your mom said I work in a factory, that your mom said the second contract is really the important contract because it kind of proves that you're now a professional. I'm wondering how you felt signing that extension, getting the bag, so to speak, and what you did with your first check.
Yeah, as for my second contract being the most important, I think just because I think the first one is, I don't want to say easy, but I think it's easier than the second one because if you're not performing, then I think it'd be a little different. And my first check, we were at preseason, so I didn't do anything actually.
Ronnie?
Hey, Tayvon, hope you're doing well. Just had a quick question going into the Nashville game. I know someone asked Coach Nick Cushing on it, but I know this is probably the third time facing off against Nashville, a team that I don't believe NYCFC has beaten. Is that extra motivation? Kind of, if you could just talk to us a little bit about the mentality going into this first game against a team like that. Thank you.
I mean, I didn't look at it like that, but I guess you could say that's motivation that we haven't beat them. I just think first game of the season is good to set a tone, so I think that's what we're going to try to achieve.
And Ryan, go ahead.
Tayvon, I'm just wondering if you have any personal goals for this season.
Win everything.
Fair enough.
Ronnie?
Oh, no, sorry, I'm putting it down, sorry.
No worries. And final question, Christian Hennig.
Hi, Tayvon. You talked there before. You can play centre back, right back, wing back. Do you see that as a big advantage for your own aspirations this season, that you can be so fluid in your position depending on what Nick and the team need?
Most definitely. That's how I look at it for sure. I
it's like there's not really like second guessing it or like switching, in my head, and I hope in Nick's head. I can do all three. So that's definitely a plus for me.
Okay, great. Thank you, everyone.